Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report, and it's time to bring on the bad guys with Abomination one shot. Now, this has been a fantastic series. I thoroughly recommend it. I can't wait to get into this issue and tell you what happens. So let's do that right now. I'm going to go through it page by page. There will be spoilers, so please read the book beforehand. Please like the video too, if you like the video, and subscribe. That would be fantastic. I really, really appreciate it. So, like I say, this is a 7-issue series of one-shots under the Bring on the Bad Guys banner, each one featuring a villain. We've had Doom, Green Goblin so far. Really good stories, like really, really good. I'm very surprised at how good this has been. So after Abomination, we've got Loki, Red Skull, Dormammu, and Mephisto. So let's have a quick catch-up. Very quick catch-up. There is a soul forge. Once powered, Mephisto can claim all the souls on the entire planet. In order to do that, he needs blood from the descendants of the original Lords of Darkness. Now, there were some bad guys that formed their little coven to power this forge many years ago. He betrayed them and destroyed their bodies and realized he needed their blood to fully power it. So he says, fine, I've got plenty of time. I can wait forever. I can wait for the right time, and all these descendants are all lined up, and I can claim their blood with the sacred daggers, and I can take over the board. Because that's what Mephisto does, right? He collects souls. He does have a reluctant, very reluctant helper called Sister Sorrow. This is a new villain created by Marc Guggenheim. She's cool. I love her. She is so badass. Her costume's amazing, and I want to know more about her. And we find out a little bit more about her origin in a little backup story after this main story by Marc Guggenheim, who basically created her in the Doom one-shot. Now, let's dive into this one by Phillip Kennedy Johnson and Sergio Dávila. So this Soul Forge, this is the key. Now, in Wakanda, there is this archaeological dig site going on, and these guys are packing up for the night. They notice a light from just outside the perimeter of their dig, okay? And they notice this glowing purple well and bodies of what look like buried alive guards for this well. So something bad is down there, right? Nothing gets buried in a well if it's good. Now, they talk amongst themselves, and they're a bit scared. Let's leave. But one of them decides to talk down to the well to find out if there's someone down there, and a voice responds, "Drink from the well of Afkashinga." Now we jump back to Wakanda, and 200 miles below the capital, all right, there is a prison, and there's this analyst. I always get that word wrong. Analyst, a very low-level analyst, and she's been given the task of solving this problem, and she needs to talk to somebody, and that someone happens to be Emil Blonsky, the Abomination. Now, it's a bit strange that someone so level has been given such a huge task, right? But we will uncover the story and the plot as we go along. Now, he says, listen, what do you want? It must be something big for you to come to me. She says, they've discovered this well. There's this ruins. Something's in there. Our teams have gone in there. They've not returned. Even like the Wakandan Royal Guard, the Dora Milaje, they've gone in and they've not returned. So something really bad must be down there. The police have vanished. The original archaeologists have gone. Even villagers from the nearby town have investigated and vanished. So he's like, okay, we'll do this. So she says, listen, I will give you your freedom if you accept this mission and complete it. And he says, you won't. What will happen is as soon as I've completed the mission, you'll put me somewhere even worse than I am now. But she says, no, trust me. You're dealing with me, not the Wakandan government. You're dealing with me, and I will ensure that you are granted your freedom. So off they go, and they airdrop him in. It's quite spectacular. Dives out of the plane, and he plummets to the earth, and he just creates this huge tunnel into this underground that joins onto the well. And then he finds some quite gruesome bodies which look like they're rotting away. They've got maggots, and they're saying, drink from the well, join us, right? Join us. And then he hears who's behind it. This weird, grotesque sort of amalgamation of bodies and skulls and flesh. And he's trapped down there. And he has some kind of arcane magic. I'm not sure about the full history just yet, but he's the grandson of Oni Lagowu, right? Now, that person there, which I can't pronounce names, as you know, I never can. This is a descendant of one of the original Lords of Darkness, the Wakandan dark magic user who was sort of outcast from Wakanda for basically being bad. So he knows who this person is, right? And now that's strange. How does he know? Anyway, we're going to find out. So there obviously is a fight about to kick off, and it really does. It's brutal. There's bones cracking, tentacles, blood everywhere. It's pretty gruesome, absolutely gruesome. But this is the Abomination, right? He's just going to tear you straight in half. Very reminiscent of She-Hulk in the old Avengers days, in Avengers Disassembled. Seems to be a family trait, tearing bodies in half. And there he goes. There he is. Look at it. It's just gruesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, this is a point where I thought this story's a bit of a non-story. It's just chuck Abomination down a well and he kills this person. Okay, he's connected to the original, coven of baddies that wanted to power this forge. And I thought that can't be it. But this is where it really turns and delivers. So those bodies that we saw earlier on that are rotting, that are sort of becoming one with the well and the bad guy, they sort of return to human form and they're like, take us with you, save us. But he says, nah, see you later, guys. Just leaves them there to die, right? I love it. I thought it's so in character for the Abomination. He's not interested. And this is where we get the twist. So basically what happens is he comes up to the well. He says, right, the job's done. But he says, listen, how do you think you got chosen? How do you think this well suddenly was found? But I was a super spy, right? So I cashed in my last Wakandan chip for this well to be discovered, all right? And I also arranged for you to be the person that talks to me so that I can get near you and take your blood, because you are a descendant of one of the Lords of Darkness, and Mephisto is owed a soul, and I'm about to deliver her. And that's what happens. So he stabs her with the sacred dagger, getting her blood, which helps Mephisto get one step closer to powering the Soul Forge. And I was like, brilliant. You had me all the way through. It's just going to be this normal story, Abomination beats up the bad guy and then runs away and escapes. But no, that little twist at the end, I just didn't see it coming. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. Anyway, the cool thing about this is the Abomination is now on the loose, and apparently his story continues in the pages of Incredible Hulk. So what a brutal ending to an absolutely brilliant story so far. 3 issues in, 3 absolute bangers. I'm all on board for the other 4. So here's where we get the backup story by Marc Guggenheim and Michael Stambaria. Now this, like I said, is the Sister Sorrow backstory. So many moons ago, Mephisto visited this woman in the middle of the night who was suffering because her father was due to be executed in the morning. So he cut a deal. He says, you give me your soul and I will grant your father his freedom. So beset with nothing else in her path to save her father, she makes that decision. She says, okay, I will give you my soul for my father's freedom. Now, of course, nothing comes without a price in Mephisto. And he creates this Sister Sledge, that's a band, this Sister Sorrow character from her. He transforms her into this absolutely killer, I don't know, villain, anti-hero, I don't know. And we sort of see that she has a history that's, been growing unbeknownst to us. But we then jump back to when she was just a villager somewhere many moons ago. Now, her father and herself, they decide to run back to the village as a storm is brewing. But guess what? Mephisto didn't promise his life, he promised his freedom. And by some sheer misfortune, he is struck by lightning and dies. So it's all been for nothing. But now Mephisto has her soul. I thought that was such a brilliant, dark, twisted little story. It fits this character to the T. Is it kind of, a trope? Yes. But it works and it fits, and I'm super invested in this character. I can't wait to see what happens next. I mean, look at her. How cool does she look, right? Anyway, a fitting end to a 3rd issue in this series. It's absolutely brilliant, guys. Thoroughly recommend you jump on board. The art's lovely. The dialogue's crisp. I just can't fault it. And that's big for me. It's big for me when I can't fault a book. So there we go. It's an absolute banger. Go pick it up. Get on this series. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share the video. And I will see you hopefully in the next review.